Robert Pickton was a well-known figure in Vancouver's community in the late 1990s. He and his brother owned a farm near the city. Which, despite its rundown state, became known for the large parties Pickton hosted. Despite being described as peculiar, reserved, and introverted by those who knew him, Pickton's gatherings, often attended by drug addicts, sex workers, and gang members, drew thousands of people, highlighting a stark contrast to his otherwise quiet nature. After the parties, several women would go missing, but their disappearances received little official attention. The missing women were primarily sex workers and drug addicts from a poor area in Vancouver called the Low Track, and the police assumed they had simply left without notice. However, the truth was much darker. The women working in prostitution in the Low Track were well acquainted with Robert Pickton, who was known and respected among them. Apart from hosting popular parties, he was seen as a respectful customer who treated and paid them well. He would often pick up women, take them to his farm for sexual encounters, and then return them to the Low Track. While his reputation appeared to be largely justified, there were times when his intentions were much darker. In 1997, Pickton came under police scrutiny after soliciting a sex worker named Wendy Lynn Eistetter. Following their sexual encounter, his behavior turned violent, and he proceeded to handcuff her, grabbed a knife, and began to stab and slash her repeatedly. Despite the brutality, Wendy fought back bravely and managed to disarm Pickton, using his own weapon to stab him multiple times. After escaping, she went to a nearby hospital with the handcuffs still on her wrists, and coincidentally, Pickton sought treatment at the same hospital for his injuries. Pickton was arrested for attempted murder, but the charges were dropped shortly thereafter. Despite hospital staff using a key found in Pickton's pocket to free Wendy from the handcuffs and noting her evident stab wounds, no thorough investigation followed. The police dismissed Wendy's account, deeming her too unreliable and mentally unstable due to her drug addiction. Pickton's clothes were, however, seized, but they were not tested until 7 years later, when Wendy's DNA was found on them. Unfortunately, for nearly 50 other women, this discovery came too little too late. Prior to the investigation involving Wendy, it is estimated that Pickton may have committed up to 10 murders, even though the actual number could potentially be higher. Some of these victims went unnoticed for years due to their marginalized circumstances, and each time things began exactly as they did with Wendy. Pickton would head downtown, drive around the Low Track, and choose a victim. He deliberately chose women he believed would not trigger a significant police investigation, enticing them with money and drugs before driving them back to his farm. There, he would rape and murder them, then commit one of the most heinous acts that any person could ever commit: stuffing their bodies through a wood chipper and feeding their remains to his pigs. On certain occasions, he would grind the victims' remains and mix them with the ground pork he supplied to the community. Perhaps the most disgusting part of this whole ordeal was realized during Pickton's trial years later, where it was revealed that the family of Marnie Lee Frey, one of the victims, had unknowingly obtained meat from Pickton's farm soon after her tragic demise. Although not conclusively proven, there exists the unsettling possibility that they inadvertently consumed bits of their own beloved family member. Pickton's intelligence was not particularly remarkable. He deviated from the expected profile of an intelligent and calculated psychopath commonly associated with serial killers. His methods were crude, which meant that he left behind trails of evidence. It is likely that several individuals were aware of his actions, but he managed to continue his killing spree for years. On several occasions, evidence that should have triggered further investigation emerged, only to be disregarded by the authorities. For example, in 1998, an anonymous tip was received implicating him in the local disappearances, but it was dismissed due to concerns about its reliability. Another failed investigation occurred following another anonymous tip, this time reporting the sighting of what appeared to be human flesh in Pickton's freezer. During the police interviews, Pickton vehemently denied having any human remains at his farm and distanced himself from the disappearances. For reasons that remain unknown, no search was conducted until several years later. The eventual apprehension of Pickton can be attributed more to fortunate circumstances rather than a deliberate action undertaken by the Vancouver police. An ex-employee of the Pickton farm reported to the federal police, stating that they had witnessed unregistered firearms on the property. This tip, unlike the previous ones, was considered significant enough to obtain a search warrant and conduct an investigation. During the search, the police uncovered human remains in plain sight, including hands, feet, skulls, teeth, a jawbone, and clothing drenched in blood. Overall, the DNA evidence collected indicated that at least 26 women had been killed. Pickton himself claimed to have murdered 49, expressing regret that he fell short of an even 50 victims.
No. What have you done?
No carcasses.
So what do you got? You know what I'm saying?
DNA.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Fucking that's not. Okay, I know what's up. You fucking if you got a fucking missing person. It's fucking weird. Fucking how you made it.
You got DNA.
Fucking guys are right. I found the best way to fucking dispose of something. It's fucking taking the ocean.
Oh, really?
Holy fuck. You know what the fucking ocean is at this? Ain't much left.
Any better than that?
Who? Me? No. No shit. That's gotta be fucking pretty good. Okay? Can't be much fucking left.
I'm gonna stop it. We can do something.
Really?
Keep coming. Oh, fuck. Can do something.
But it's not like it's fucking worth it. You know? I can make things disappear.
I was gonna do one more. Maybe even 50. That's what I was stopping people for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more. Make a big battle.
Make the big 5 cent. Fuck. That's fuck.
In the end, He received a life sentence with no possibility of parole.